I mean, here's the other thing too with Conor. Is there any reason for him to have the belt? He doesn't need it. He can vacate it and come back and be like, look, I want a title shot. And they're going to give it to him.
True. Yeah, it's just holding it up. I think he needs to figure out what he wants to do. But I think the UFC has to figure out how much they're going to let Conor get away with. Before they're like, all right, dude, we get it. We got to move on. With 45 they actually took 55. We got to have Tony versus the winner of Khabib Barboza, that legit champion. Then if you decide to come back, you're going to get a title shot. But just as a business, we have to move on.
So I'm going to ask you, what's your take? What do you think you should do? You think you should fight MMA or boxing?
Conor?
I say boxing. Pacquiao or Malignaggi, money. One fight, money.
Depends what you want to go for. It depends if I'm Conor McGregor's manager or friend, I go fight Pacquiao. Let's do a McGregor. We're gonna do in Cork Park, where the fuck they call it out in Dublin. 90,000 strong. You're gonna get this much pay-per-view percentage more than you get off Floyd because now you're the draw.
Yep.
And we bring Manny up there, and you're gonna make probably another $100 million.
Yep.
Or if you want, you can fight Khabib or Tony Ferguson for a third of the price, and Dana White still owns your balls.
Well, see, I think he would still make more money fighting Paulie. If he fought Paulie, he would make more money fighting Paulie than he did when he would do fighting Khabib or Tony.
Correct.
And I don't think there's a chance. I think there's a small chance he gets past. There's no chance he gets past Khabib.
No chance.
No. Like,
you don't think you're a little biased?
Like, see this? Whatever this one is.
I don't know what that is.
This little,
you think you're a little biased?
No, I'm not. No, because we watched. If you go back and you watch the Chad Mendes fight with Conor. He was exhausted.
You talking about the takedowns?
Yeah, just takedown.
All right. So I'll play devil's advocate here, and honestly, I defend Conor. I love this.
I love Conor though. Let's not.
First of all, I love
Conor.
Khabib and Conor.
Okay,
I'm a huge Khabib fan. I joke around about the tiramisu. It's fun to mess with people online, but we'll get into that. Conor, Chad. Remember, Chad stepped in on basically
2 weeks notice.
2 week notice,
10 days or something.
10 days, something crazy, and Conor told Dana the game plan goes. I'm gonna let him take me down. I'm going to let him do all that. I'm going to wear him out. I'm going to throw body shots. He's going to take me down. I'm going to knock him out in the second round. So that's exactly what he did. So that wasn't exactly like him just having poor wrestling. I think his wrestling's better than we think. Now, is he going to get taken down against Khabib? 110%. Khabib takes down anyone in the UFC not named Cain Velasquez. Mm-hmm. He takes down Stipe. He will take down Francis probably. He will take down anyone. 55ers have no fucking chance. No. I don't care who it is. They have no chance. So he'll take down Conor. But he did get tagged by Michael Johnson.
Speed's different.
Tagged. Speed is different. Connor's quicker than
No way Connor's faster than Michael Johnson.
Are you sure?
No way. Michael Johnson is faster.
Aldo.
No, that was he said it right though. Timing though. It had nothing to do with
You're telling me his timing's not better than Johnson's?
I'm not saying maybe it is, but I'm saying
speed.
The
speed
to get there, just speed to get to his chin.
Explosiveness, yes.
Yeah,
I'll give you it. He's black. He's more explosive.
Wow.
No, I'm just saying. Hashtag no racism. I'm just saying.
Okay, Michael Chang.
But so the one thing, so you have that where he did get lit up by Mike Johnson. The other
one punch got through. One.
It was a good punch.
It was.
Does Conor hit harder than Michael Johnson?
I would say probably. Mm-hmm. He's also, I think, a little bit more accurate. I think that one hit.
More accurate, more combos, more dangerous, longer, better boxer, better striker, better timing, more knockout wins. Yep. But then also you have, what about the weight issue for Khabib? When they fight, Khabib now, obviously his liver gave out on him. Yeah. He's having issues. If this commission does pass this, how the fuck is he going to make it? So let's say he goes, man, I have to fight Conor at 55. I'm going to have to go into the arena at 171 or whatever the fuck it was. So now I have to, not only can I not blow up to 85 or whatever, but now I even have to die to get to the octagon.
I get where you're going with that, but that's so much in the future. I don't know. Like, we can't tell what's going to happen. Maybe
we're living in the future.
They're going to fight that fight in Vegas.
True.
They might fight it in Dublin too.
They might, or Russia. Conor wanted to do it in Russia.
Yeah, so if they do it over there, there's no commission.
That's true.
So the weight stuff, I'm not even going to get into that. Let's talk about the speed, though. Not a chance he's faster than Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson's faster than Conor.
So take Michael Johnson out of it. Is he faster than Khabib?
It depends on what you're
you're taking too long to answer.
No. I'm talking speed-wise on the hands. Yes, he's faster than Khabib.
Night and day.
But you're talking speed on the hands to the actual explosiveness to the takedown. Who can get it first? That's the thing.
That's the question.
Can he unleash that amount of power moving backwards, trying to throw a punch where Khabib's actually coming in?
We've seen him be able to throw backwards. We know that's what makes Conor great. Going backwards, he can land knockout shots.
Going backwards, landing while standing, though, both guys are standing, not while one guy's on your ankle or leg or knees. That's the thing. So that's the other thing as well. And this is the one thing I want to point out. Conor sucks in the clinch. You watch him against Nate Diaz, it was almost like the two of them had no idea. And I tell this to everyone, if you're going to fight a Diaz brother, just press him to the fence, man.
Take advantage of the clinch.
Yeah, they take advantage of the clinch. They have no they have no game in the clinch.
Because they're boxers.
Yeah, they're boxers. Not just that though, but they're not physically strong. They're long, but they're not physically strong. I feel like with Conor too, he couldn't really even capitalize in the clinch against him. That's where I felt like I did my most work against Nate Diaz. Was easy work. Like you press him against the fence, clinch, elbow, punch.
Khabib makes a living.
And Khabib makes a living there. And that's the point that I think. If punch right to the clinch, drive him to the fence, double leg. Doesn't matter what happens after that. The rest of that 4.5 minutes,
it's gonna be nasty.
4 minutes and whatever.
I agree.
52 seconds. The fight's easy to be on the bottom. Just getting.
I'm just saying, if Conor lands one, Khabib's in trouble. That's the big if. I don't think we ever see that fight. I gotta be honest with you.
I don't think so either.
I don't think you ever see it.
I don't think so either.
If I'm Conor, I don't do it for a few reasons. And number one would be, let's say, and Conor believes he can beat anyone in the world. He told Danny he wants to fight Khabib in Russia, all that. That's fine and dandy. So let's say Khabib.
We believe everything Dana says.
Yeah, right? So let's say Khabib and Conor agree to the fight. UFC starts to promote it. They go on a world tour. They do all this media work, and then Khabib has a liver failure or doesn't make the weight. It's out the window. That's too big of a risk to ride and die on making that fight happen.
I think that they could probably work a deal out for that specific fight if they were doing in Russia or Dublin, where you say let's fight at 160.
Oh,
you can't exceed this weight.
If I'm Conor, I don't
think you do it either. But I'm saying
if I'm Conor, no bitch, you got to make 155.
Yeah, I mean I can see what you're saying, but when you're talking, let's just say they're going to make the biggest payday they have ever made, anybody's ever made in UFC history.
Conor can do that fighting Paulie. He could do that fighting Tony. Conor could do that fighting fucking CM Punk.
Yep. My take on him is that he should fight Pacquiao. If he loses, at least he can turn around and fight Paulie and say like he has 3 hits. Yes.
If he loses twice in boxing, let's say
you're losing to the two of the greatest ever.
But first of all,
to fight Paulie's different.
Paulie's a little different. Remember, Paulie's still a multi-time world champion. Paulie can box his ass off.
I'm not saying he's not.
Well, compared to Floyd and Manny, different animal. But let's say Conor fights Manny Pacquiao. Well, and everyone knows I worked for Showtime. I was the main advocate and voice for Conor that was going to be competitive. It was competitive for a certain amount of rounds. That's because of the style that Floyd fights, the defensive, smaller style. Manny Pacquiao does not fight conservatively. No. Manny Pacquiao hits like a Mack truck. That is the worst matchup in boxing for Conor. I don't want to see that for that reason where that's going to be a tough one to sell. And if let's say he goes out and gets knocked out in the second round, I don't know what it does to Conor's legacy. You're going to make crazy bank. The Floyd one doesn't hurt his legacy. Cool, best of all time. We get it. You still went how many rounds? And you land some decent shots. With Manny, you get outclassed by him and knocked out. Where do you go?
I think it depends on how. If it goes 1-2 rounds, it's done. Like he won't be able to go in. He'll have to go back to MMA.
And then is the draw still there? We're like, we just saw you lose twice.
Yeah, but the draw's still for sure there.
Is it?
Yes, for sure it's still there.
Okay. All right.
In MMA.
So let's say the draw's still there in MMA after losing both those boxing matches to Floyd and Manny. Two of the best of all time. People are like, all right, you lost that. Here's Tony Ferguson, Khabib.
I think he fights Khabib in Russia or in Dublin, so he makes the most amount of money.
And then
he
what
walks
happens
away.
there? Let's say it happens like you think it's going to happen.
Walks away.
And for the first round, he gets taken down within 30 seconds and pounded out. Yeah. Then what?
Then he walks away with $250 million already in his bank account. Probably the fuck you money, like saying, yeah, well, you know what? I made my money. I'm out. I'm fucking out.
Legacy.
That's it. That's all. Yeah.
Legacy tarnish.
I don't think so.
No?
$250 million. Do you care about your legacy anymore?
Ooh, that's the argument. If does management and friends go, all right, dude, let's talk about your legacy here. Paulie, we could see you having a legit shot against, although you talked to Paulie. Yeah. You know, when I talked to Paulie off air, Paulie's a good friend of mine. Talked to him during the Mayweather McGregor stuff, and I said, "What happened with sparring, man?" And he looked me dead in the eye. And he goes, "Shab, I have no reason to lie, brother. Ask him to release the tape." He goes, "I beat the fuck out of him off a plane." He goes, "I got off the plane. I thought I was just there to help him out." They go, "Nope, you're sparring 12 rounds or 10 rounds." He's like, "What?" And I'm like, why would you do that? He goes, because I can box. Like, I grew up boxing. That's what we do. I don't give a fuck. MMA fighter. He goes, it was easy work for me, man. Yeah. He goes, and then they showed a few clips. And now people are saying I got my ass whooped. He goes, it helped sell the fight, which I'm all about. He goes, I'm telling you, man, ask them to release the tape and see what happened.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm telling you, man.
That's why I think he fights Pacquiao instead of Paulie. He should fight Pacquiao, and then just be done. That's another $100 million payday. 60 to 100 million easy.
It's strange because the road for him is, because it's the level he's at, is rough. Yeah. It's rough in the sense Tony Ferguson's a nightmare. I'm not saying he can't beat Tony Ferguson. Yeah. Tony has his holes. Khabib's a fucking nightmare. Yeah. And then I think your best bet, if I'm looking at just the dragons at 155, is Max Holloway beats Frankie and jumps to 55. And then they do a rematch at 55, Max Holloway Conor. But I'll tell you what's going to happen. You can take away all this talk. And this is me with my crystal ball. I've been kind of right. I know a few things or two. This is what I think happens. I think you don't see Conor fight for a while. I think GSP, this stomach issue thing, is him cutting to 70, and you're going to get a super fight in Dublin between Conor McGregor and GSP by the end of the year next year. Well,
I'm glad that you really looked at your crystal ball. You must be, we must be texting back and forth. I said that from the beginning, man.
Oh, really?
For sure. There's no other fight to make. In the UFC, there's no other fight to make.
If I'm Conor, it just doesn't, if I'm
doesn't
Conor,
make sense.
If I'm going to fight in the UFC, I don't fight a Tony Ferguson who's a monster. I'm not saying he can't beat him, but the matchup is fucking tough. And let's be real, it's nothing against Tony. I don't control this. Tony's not a draw. So I'm not doing that fight. Khabib's a draw in Russia. Not the biggest draw here. I know he's your boy. Not the biggest draw. And a fucking nightmare.
Yep.
So I'm not going to do that. If I'm Conor, I'm the one selling all these. So I'm looking at maybe Max Holloway, but even that, he's not a megastar yet. But then we got GSP in the wings there, which everyone in the world would pay to see.
Yep.
So I'll come back for that. It's a bad matchup for me. He's the best of all time. That makes sense for me.
Yep.
And he has cut to 70.
If he can make 70, and then you have Conor put in there somewhere that says like, hey, you can't exceed 182 or 180 or something along those lines, right? If he doesn't, if GSP can't make that fight happen to where they don't do that, then I think he turns around and fights Nate again. There's no reason for him. My honest opinion,
You think Conor fights Nate?
He should. He shouldn't fight Khabib or Tony.
I agree.
There's like we were talking about this a little more. There's no reason for him to. I
don't
said
see it.
Take the huge money fight either against Pacquiao, and I think even Paulie's a way bigger fight, money wise, than any fight in the UFC. So take
any fight in the UFC at 55.
Yeah, and take one of those boxing matches first, then come back to MMA and try and get the.
I think he has to win that next boxing match.
He does, but I think even if he comes back and he fights GSP and MMA, everyone's gonna tune in.
What I'd do if I were him, I'd keep partying, making whatever few million off interest whatever I did with Floyd Mayweather, and I see if GSP can make it. And I just wait. Wait a year. I dip out a little bit, wait a year. He makes it great. If not, the Paulie thing might go away. Maybe I do Pacquiao. Or the Nate fight's never. That fight will always. It makes zero sense, but it will always be there. Mm-hmm.
Everyone will just tune in for the trash talk.
Always.
Yep, they're gonna tune in for the trash talk.
Nate refuses to fight anyone else. Nate's waiting for that. Nate's not going anywhere.
Him and his brother have done the same thing. They're smart. They made some good money at a couple good fights, and then now they're like, nah, we'll just sit back and wait. You need us more than they need you. When you've got a couple $1 million in the bank, they're like,
is that true though?
We don't need you.
You think?
Nick more so than Nate, because Nate's only had that one payday.
Correct,
and that's it.
Well, two paydays.
Two now, two. Whereas paydays. Nick's had several of them. Back from the Gomi day when he fought Gomi in Pride, he got paid pretty well there. His fights over when he fought Sakurai, I think it was Sakurai.
Legend. Yeah,
Sakuraba or Sakurai over in Japan, got paid there. He's always got paid and taken care of.